Hello and welcome. This is your GM in the Great Barrier, and we are broadcasting Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword. This is our 23rd century Klingon era game. We're in the era before Discovery, the original series, Strange New Worlds, the banner era of Trek that we've approached. And we are here tonight to follow up with our crew in their current adventure, Iwudil raQpo, Part
Bless you.
3. Less sneezy than other Klingon I could have said. Anyway, before we get started, I just have a few things to bring up for today. So, for those of you that are catching this live, you'll be able to note this. But even if you are watching in the archive, you should still be able to see it by the time this episode goes up. One of my dear friends, the person behind the artwork for my avatar, one Clockwork Crane, is holding a special matrimony and chill stream. She is actually getting married next month, and so they are holding a 12-hour marathon stream in that evening. Uh, I would recommend for anyone that wants to check out some fun variety gaming, be sure to stop in. For those curious about our channel, in the description for those of you watching in the archive. So by all means, check that out. That will be the same day that Star Trek Adventures Aegis airs, so if you want to drop in for that as well, you can watch that. I know our engineer has been doing that and start up some very fun mischief. Yeah. For those who want to catch that show and possibly stir up similar trouble, our Star Trek Adventures Aegis game, that's the 22nd Century Starfleet game, airs Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to join us for that. And then finally, if you want to keep up to date on any of these or see any other interesting streams or other things that I might be able to throw out, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Mastodon. Links are either in the description or in chat. Um, so before we get into anything else, I'm going to go ahead and declare a house rule at this point. Um, as some may have noticed, or for those watching in the chat here, your channel points, your quatlus, now go a little bit further. In addition to some of the standard ones, uh, there are numerous point spends that will allow you to make subtle effects on the particular game. You can increase or decrease the difficulty, grant momentum, or even create complications or advantages depending on whether you wish to supply boon or bane to the players. These will apply on the next task, basically on the next task that where it goes there. So um, it's very interesting stuff. If you want to check out more, try that. Then uh, just stop in for a live game, and it should be interesting, I think. That and making sure that I, of course, hydrate, check my posture, what have you. Um, I am going to rule, though, players do not spend channel points on themselves for their games. So,
Dang, it was almost pay to win.
We would never.
It's okay. I already spent mine on the other game.
yes. All right. And one final bit of business. Special thanks going out to the folks over at the Bardic Inspiration Network who gave us a shout out the other day. One of their GMs, Ben Ace Trometer, actually plays as Dr. John Lambeth in our games, so or in the Aegis game, that is. So feel free to give them a look in the future. With all that, let's get right into the game now. You are all on the planet called HeghmoH, more colloquially known as Chad. It's a very dry, isolated refueling port for the Empire. Simple backwater near the Hydran frontier. You have been sent to pick up a passenger who is quite friendly to hydrating himself, that is to say, with the blood wine. he seems to rapidly be becoming more trouble than he may be worth. For in the moments before you were going to leave the bar that you found him in, assassins came and attacked. You managed to beat them off very easily, but it underscored the need to get out of there quickly. Unfortunately, the two assassins that Woe and Tabak dispatched were only the vanguard of a much larger force that has made it to the planet. They put you under fire, lightly wounding Tabak, I think, but otherwise sparing most of the group, who has all made it to the bar and since fortified things, as we see on the screen here. The one exception to that group would be Zionel, your ship's recently hired quartermaster, a mysterious fellow who is perfectly comfortable slinking into the shadows. The group has assembled in the settlement's one bar, trying to figure out things and putting the rather bewildered miners that live here to work. And you've had a slight chance to interrogate one of the assassins whom you only grievously injured, in spite of the very drunk failures to assist from Mr. Korg. You have learned that the surviving assassin is part of a group, I believe, called the HeghmoH, which roughly translates to the Deadly Company. And you are now, as you tried and failed to beam the passenger away here, you've now received word from the leader of this Deadly Company that he wishes to speak with you, or speak with your commander specifically. So, Tabak, that is where you are left as the session starts, nursing a slight disruptor burn to your arm, a bit of blood wine in one hand, and a bit of a dilemma in the other.
And the call for parley is coming from outside?
Yes. They're broadcasting an open communication line. I will say, as a reminder, Zionel was outside, and Rev, you succeeded last time in getting a good look, very good reconnaissance at the situation. It looks like there's about some 30 Kohach, the ridgeless Klingons of the original series era, that have basically taken up positions around the bar, broken up into squads of roughly 4 to 6 people.
This is correct. I am just waiting for the perfect moment to assassinate them.
Yes. And Tabak, he has made you aware of that.
Okay, so I have been told the situation, seeing as I did miss the last actual session.
Yes.
So I have been informed of the situation that we is surrounded.
Very true.
Not good, truly.
Did you find the parts you needed, Raldar?
Yes.
Great. And the transporter's up there and not working.
Yes.
Kelshaw will interject here. Well, we did get one pad operational, but apparently it's still having problems.
Can we
User error.
User error. Can we contact the ship or no?
We should still have communications, provided they haven't figured out that they needed to jam us.
We might not know which ship to jam.
All right, so I'll call the ship.
Okay. And now let's see if they can successfully jam you on this one. So that would be... This will be a contested... well, let's see. They are going to... This would normally be a difficulty 0, but you will be rolling against whatever they need to do for this. So, I suppose I can generally say signal jamming is a control plus engineering task assisted by the ship's communications and security. The character chooses a difficulty of 1, 2, or 3. Success means the target increases the difficulty of hailing frequencies or respond to hail tasks by an amount equal to the difficulty that they chose. So I think that the company leader is definitely going to try to make it as hard for you as possible. So let's see if they can properly jam this. Go ahead and roll for the ship in this instance. They fail spectacularly with no successes and a complication. You may signal the ship at will.
What about the complication, though?
That is a good point. I think
We might not know what the complication is.
I have a suggestion if the GM does not have something in mind already.
I do not presently have anything, so I am just going to allow the players to rule a disadvantage that their opponents must take related to this.
Can we say that their comm lines are encrypted also? So we could potentially listen into what they're talking to amongst themselves?
I will allow for that.
What do you think about that, Daybok?
That's fine. I'll go with that. I'll take whatever I can get at this particular juncture. What about the rest of the people here, the locals?
Mostly a bunch of miners who are very indignant about having a bunch of ruffians come in and mess up their day, risk a foolish death over whatever sort of conflict you might be picking here. They're viewing the onus as on you, essentially, or yeah, pretty much in that circumstance. The bartender isn't terribly happy either, but he's just, managing as best he can, taking advantage of a captive audience, as it were.
Literally. All right, so I'm going to try to get Vopri on the line.
Okay.
Obviously, I can.
Yep. You open a channel, and Vopri responds back. Captain, we are receiving you all.
Good. Can you get a lock on us?
I am sorry, Captain. I thought Mr. Crocker had a proper read on you. Apparently,
make sure you've got. Find out if he's got the lock on us. We're gonna need to get out of here.
I am setting up. Hold on, patching through. Transporter room. Mr. Crocker, I have Daybok on the line. Transporter room, please respond.
Sorry, I was muted.
That's your cue.
I'm so sorry. You like, I don't know how you'd hear this, but you hear the equivalent of Crocker like slicking back his braid and spitting on his fingertips and straightening his eyebrows. Put my darling through.
He actually heard you say that.
Darling! What can I do for you?
I'm going to kill you. Do you have a transporter lock on the landing party?
Give me 1 second, and I will tell you. What do I roll for this?
So I will just give you for free in this case that I'm pretty sure that we had a transporter lock the last time, but that I'm going to say that the pad is just being very finicky right now, and it's you only have a single operational transporter pad, and that the systems are all bypassed to hell, so it's kind of it's making things a little tougher for you, just as to explain the complete failure that Croker had the last time.
You kind of. And just as he's talking, Betty pops through. It's a little bit janky, Captain. It's not exactly the coup de grace of the transporters. What are we trying to transport you? Because I think you're a little bit too big. A little bit chunky.
How many operational pads do we have?
Oh, we just have the. Betty, do not interrupt me. We just have the one kind of captain. I mean, sweetheart.
Captain is fine.
He sure is.
You have locks on all of us. Start beaming us up one at a time. I'm out of character real quick. Next to Woe and Azek, that is our. Is that the dead guy?
Let's see.
That
would be the one member of the deadly company which you have captured.
Yeah, he's alive. We did not kill him.
He's not quite dead then.
Yeah.
Right. And Dirkir is the guy we're after, right?
Yeah. We want to start with beaming Dirkir up?
Yeah, I want to
because...
get him up. I want him up first.
All right.
And at the same time, I'll tell you, whoa, get rid of that.
Get rid of what? What am I getting rid of? I'm sorry. Hang on.
The captive.
Oh. Okay, Captain. And you see her gently drag him down the stairs and close the door.
It's actually upstairs.
You see her walk backwards upstairs and close the door.
All right.
She just tucks him into the bed and
yeah, blanket and all.
Right. Unfortunately, his toes are pointing up, but his face down in the pillow.
Close enough.
So yeah, get your Kier out of here first, and then start getting us up out of here one at a time.
As you're doing,
in the meantime, I will shout out the door. What do you want?
Your mic beeps with an open communications broadcast. Look, you're gonna have to get a little bit closer if you want me to hear you. Your voice isn't carrying that well outside the door, and, well, heavily armed as you seem to be, I don't much feel like getting in too close.
Okay, then I will respond to his communication. Before I respond to his communication, I will ping Vopry again, and I will tell him, encrypt all of our communications, would you please? Thank you.
Okay.
Then I will click over to this Patak outside. Nochne Patak.
Oh, the usual honor and glory, domination of known space, and the knowledge that all of my rivals have inexplicably died. But
what color did you want them dyed?
Oh, I'd say the nice magenta of their blood, which is all poured out of them after various falls, stabbings, and, well, in some cases just explosions into a fine mist.
Well, at least you have your day planned.
Oh, yes, well...
What do you want from me?
Oh, nothing much.
I will be more specific.
Your specificity is appreciated, Tobach. I'm just here because it seems that, well, there's somebody very interesting there, and I have a job.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Oh, don't flatter yourself there. The interesting party is another HeghmoH, and I have need to bring him along somewhere.
As do I.
Oh, who hired you out?
GM, please help me. I don't remember the name of the dude or the house.
They didn't tell you, nor did they give you the house. They made this very hush-hush.
Ah, thank you. I don't see as that's relevant. You're trying to steal what I've rightfully kidnapped.
Oh, I suppose that's fair. Honestly, I don't need... If you want to take most of him, that's fine. I just need a small portion. Just, let's say, would you care to let me take his head?
No. I require that, as he needs to continue to be breathing.
Well, then we're at something of an impasse, aren't we?
Perhaps.
So, let me guess then. You're going to attempt to re-engage your transporter beam. We are going to attempt to create atmospheric interference so as to prevent you from carrying out that beaming, and then this is just going to go back and forth until either you are forced to come out without supplies, or my men storm whatever bombed-out remains of that modest little shack they're calling a bar on this planet is. Does that about sound right?
Switch over to our communications. Croker, anytime now.
I'm working on it! Now can I actually work on it? Can I roll for this?
You may make an attempt. However, before that, I am going to be fair, I will drop a couple points of threat in order to allow for a roll to take place. Basically, take some initiative to act here. As this is
atmospheric interference.
Indeed, that would be the case.
Oh.
So,
that's not fair. We were planning on beaming him out before he figured it out.
Oh, there was
he's been threat for it. It's fine.
Yes. A transport was already a transport attempt was already made, and that was enough.
When did that happen?
That was made at last session.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
This is what you get for missing staff meetings, Doctor. More appropriately, Captain, but I was going directly for the...
I got the quote. I got the quote.
Anyway, that is a Search for Spock reference for those not in the know. All right. Croker, you may attempt a control and engineering roll assisted by the ship's sensors and engineering. The difficulty on this task will now be 4.
You want some extra dice? You want some extra dice?
Or
Yes, can I buy another die?
I will allow for that. I am going to say, Joe, since you are holding the momentum pool, first drop 2, as it has been a hot minute since we have had a game. And then you have 4 in your pool that you may use at your discretion.
Okay, I am buying another die.
Drop 1 to buy the die.
Yes, please, Joe.
And don't mess up.
Thank you for that
don't mess.
little bit of...
Yeah.
I'm here for you.
Don't do it.
Thank you. Oh, god dang it, I did! I messed up so bad!
Why?
That is 1 success with 2 failures, one of them being a critical failure.
Oh, no.
All right, so I will ask you there, Ray, would you prefer to buy that off with 2 momentum you have in the pool, give me threat, or allow for a narrative complication?
Well, you know what I'm going for.
Yes, we all know what you're gonna go for.
Thank you.
I do.
Narrative.
Wait, the ship didn't help yet.
Well, the ship... I guess the ship may attempt to do so. So let's... technically, you did get 1 success, so go ahead and roll for the ship.
All right,
let
me
is...
pull that up.
I swear, if this ends up being another complication,
that'll be my fault.
I will uninstall roll 20.
Sensors and
Yeah.
what?
Sensors and engineering. And it's worth saying that because of that, it is indeed not mathematically possible for you to succeed at this point. Though if you get to 3 successes, you could succeed at cost. However, the ship does not score any successes. It at the very least does not complicate. So
It doesn't like me. The die do not like me today.
yes.
Damn
So-
machine.
All of you look around and you see Dirkir starting to glow with the effect of the transporter beam starting to take hold. There's a bit of like that yellowish orange mist and beam of light starting to surround him, and it dissipates almost as quickly. Unfortunately for you, Croker, you have the sound of that one transporter pad whirring up, and you're pushing power through the circuits when all of a sudden there is the horrible sound of like bursts and static just coming out from the pad. Smoke starts to come out from a vent, and you hear the audible sounds of like small little explosions as some of the circuits just give out completely. The transporter pad is now completely inoperable. The only
Betty, get out here! I need your assistance. This is not good. This is. Lupri, call the captain. Tell him there's been so much wrong.
I am afraid the captain is still on the line, Mr.
Oh. Well, Captain, there's so much wrong.
What did you do?
I am a perfection personified. Your transporter pad either is a mess, and that is not our problem. Oh, honey, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened.
Get off the line.
He hates me. He won't talk to me. He hates me.
Whoa! I blame you for this.
What?
Literally,
I'm all the way over here.
No. This is me, not Tabak. I blame Woe.
Well, Woe is actually at fault.
She is. She's the one who broke the dang thing in the first place by smashing it in a fit of pique.
Well, she didn't break the other one, so that's not on her.
Yep.
It's not entirely on her.
At this point, Woe has just come back down the stairs from the room where she has quote
Dispatch.
unquote taken care of the assassin.
Is she licking her claws clean?
There's a faint smell of baby powder. I don't know why. Captain, what's going on?
We have problems.
What's new?
Yeah, I blame you.
That sounds reasonable. She walks over.
Transporter is completely. I can't think of the Klingon. Personally, I can't think of the Klingon word for messed up at this particular juncture. But yeah.
I like
The
to imagine
transporter
the
is
captain actually
completely-
said that.
No, the captain wouldn't say that. I say that. But yeah, because due to your handiwork with the transporter, we are stuck.
Well, that's sounds like Kresik's fault actually, so I'm not taking any responsibility for that.
You broke it. Anyway, moving on. They want the man we've been hired to pick up.
Do they? Is there any way we can?
We are really outnumbered.
Well, that is a predicament, Captain. She looks around the bar. Do you have any weapons in this here fine establishment?
The bartender just pulls out what appears to be a fairly gnarly looking disruptor type weapon that has seen better days. Just in case anyone were to give me some trouble, but it's not going to do much against these particular Chotwi, I guess.
Have you had dealings with these people before?
I don't bring trouble to the planet. Trouble just sometimes comes to my bar. Seems like you brought it here. Or you, he says, eyeing Dirkir. Oh. Well, they might be after me. Frankly, I say that you look to have weapons. You're for us, and there's positively festooned with them. Why not go out and give them the battle they so desire? Between you, your pet lizard over there, you may just be some quahak here, but surely you could be a stout bunch. Look, you're even, while you're taking that burn on your chest with a fair degree of grit, and the old man there probably wouldn't even feel it if they hit his other arm. What say you, old-timer? Shall we fight as warriors one more time? Directing that to you, Ezek.
Is there any other way to fight?
Yes, wisely. I will die one day, but I will not die stupidly. This is a stupid fight. I'm seriously tempted to throw this drunkard out there and let them have him.
I don't feel too good about that. I mean, we already... No. She walks over to Dirker. No. We're not throwing him out.
He would not be thrown out alive or alone. Captain, that is a coward's way of solving a problem. Throwing someone to the wolves, you know that.
More trouble than he's worth. Not even getting paid that much for this particular instance. But if everybody is hell-bent on dying...
Well, does this place have a kitchen?
Who said that?
Me. Fucking Raldar.
Yes, your big engineer in the corner.
Sorry. Sorry. I didn't recognize... Me, not Tabak, did not recognize your voice all of a sudden. Sounded
Damn
weird.
it.
What happened to your Russian accent?
You want the Russian?
I thought you had a Russian accent.
You want me to do a Russian accent for Eldar because that's just what Worf is, Russian?
I thought he had one, like several games ago. I thought Raldar had a Russian accent.
No, he just had the gabagoo.
Oh.
I can do a Russian accent. You want a Russian accent? You want this to be the new canon? The Russian canon?
No, that's quite all right. Although, I mean, we could. You can have a Russian accent. I'm raising Norwegian cats, so, you know.
Oh my god.
Fits the
Well, but
Fits the geography pattern we're establishing anyway.
well, if this place has a kitchen, we might be able to whip up something a bit smarter than disruptors.
I feel like you're just falling into some weird Scottish hellhole.
It's the accent hole is happening. It's opening. It's getting wider. Truly.
It's growing legs. It's running away.
And again, I blame Woe.
Oh, I mean, that time it was her fault. So,
We can make if there's some flour, we can make smoke.
well, what was your idea, Raldar?
Well, depending on what he has, if he has anything, you know, there's an energy source. Well, just about anything can be made into a bomb.
This is true. She has like a
Wait,
little
didn't we bring-
sideways grin.
How far? Okay. Pull out my tricorder and just see how far away the bad guys are from the front door.
let's see. I think that they've because there's a very slight sort of ridge surrounding where the bar is. They've taken up positions kind of around there in like 3 approaches. There's basically sort of 3 different ways that the way that the weird bone-like stone formations are set up. There's basically 3 approaches. They've taken positions on a ridge that at its closest points it's maybe 40 meters out. I think
Any direct line of sight from inside the building? Does the building have windows?
the building does have windows. The tables were somewhat set. Like the idea that they are being pushed around basically is to reflect that like they are temporarily blocking view so that you can minimize anyone trying to take a pot shot at you.
Right. Got that. I will take recommendations from any of my crew.
Idea. We use Zional. We eliminate them slowly with
Wait,
the
there
assistance
is-
of that little
Over how
worm.
long? Over how long? How long am I supposed to pick off 30 people?
You can do it. They can work.
You can
Is
take
Zi-
2 years.
Wait. Zionel didn't even come into the building.
No, he's
Zional
outside.
is. He's
He's
outside.
your spotter.
Yeah.
He's your spotter outside.
Canonically,
Uh-huh.
Zional has 2 voices. One, the confident, like slithery used car salesman, and the other is like concerned Mickey Mouse voice.
When he gets concerned, he goes full Mickey Mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
Goes full Mickey Mouse. You never go full Mickey Mouse. Oh my.
Oh my god. It's a perfect plan.
That's not even a plan. That's a joke.
Is Zionel even cued in on this conversation? Just out of curiosity.
I
Probably
don't.
not.
I
Okay,
don't believe
just
he's
need to know
being.
that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's presently quietly. He has climbed up one of the bone-like stone structures outside and is just maintaining overwatch.
Right. Which Klingon was talking in their communicator?
From your vantage point, I'll tell you what. I'll ask you one more. Either it will be insight and either command or security, and I'm going to call the
You know
difficulty on this to be 2.
You know it's gonna be command. My guy's gonna be captain of the Yan someday.
A certain.
Wait, did I say that out loud?
You sure did. You sure did. But you'll have to fight Azig first.
Are you sure you want to be captain of the Yawn of all ships?
A minute.
It's a stepping ship. There are better ships ahead.
Okay, so you said Insight and command, right?
Correct.
Difficulty was 2?
Yes. And you roll 2 successes, so you meet the difficulty. From the position that you have, you see that there were 2 Klingons, one a considerably beefy and tall Koha with very long hair, the other um, with a sort of very short and very messy outfit, or rather haircut, both in versions of the armor that the other warriors are wearing, but slightly more dressed up, as it were. The shorter one looks like he has been on the comms, though you may have seen it. His use of the comm seems to coincide with Tabok's use, or like the conversation with Tabok, which, since he was broadcasting in the open, you could probably link the two. But the bigger one is probably also doing some work on communications as well right now.
Right, but it's Shrimpy. Shrimpy's the one that's talking.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe the man who last time had identified himself as Vegta.
That's correct. Okay.
That's the leader of the pack, so to speak.
Yes.
Or at the very least, he's the one who's speaking for them.
But yeah, Tabok isn't even including Zion. We're not broadcasting our conversation.
Oh, I understand.
Because he doesn't even know where you are.
Not specifically, only that he is outside.
Aside from letting someone who's not here, who doesn't know what's going on, slowly but surely kill everyone out there, yes, I do know that 1,000 throats can be slit in a single night by a running man. We don't have a whole night. So, any other suggestions?
Junior,
We have no way to get him down here.
he likes you. Just whistle at him. He'll run from the ship.
In orbit?
He might take some falling damage.
Some.
I don't think we're ready to test if he's that resilient yet.
Idea. Is there any possibility we could just destroy them with our broken transporter? Just lock onto those people outside and beam them into 1,000 pieces.
Mr. GM? Tabok is seriously thinking about that. Is that a possibility? That you would say is a possibility?
Captain, without at least some partial repair, use of the transporter in that unorthodox manner would not be possible for the time being.
No, but the cargo transporter is still functional.
Well, I will need to review that. I do believe Raldar took some parts out of that for previous repairs.
Damn it.
But it is a distinct possibility.
So they're too far. Okay, so Mr. GM, they are too far away for us to chuck grenades out of windows.
They're basically, or like it is such that you could still attempt to do so. I may just rule that the difficulty for the task is slightly greater at this distance. You could, I think, engage with your rifles without much increase in difficulty. It would just be, I think, from in here, small arm, or like the smaller arms, like your just individual disruptor pistols, or if any of you were carrying one of the plasma repeaters, then that would be a problem.
So far we have let one man try to kill them all. We have a transporter situation that is untenable. We have Raldar wanting to throw cakes at them. Not explosive enough, and not in the volumes we could get from here.
I was also trying to check if he had like a plasma oven.
Plasma oven?
Yeah.
It's an oven made of plasma. Come on.
No, plasma
This is a
fuel.
bar, not a foundry.
You don't know what might be back there.
No, I don't. Do you have a plasma oven?
It's welded into the ground, and it's an older model. I've been having problems with it, actually.
Plasma cells. That's good enough.
They're pretty depleted, and, well, don't suppose you'll be compensating me for that, would you?
Sure we will.
Then I might be more interested in the assist here.
All right, so Raldar, get the plasma cells and make some IEDs.
Let's go, baby.
What was that?
Let's go. It's
Okay.
plasma cells. Don't
All
worry.
So, Raldar is going to start working with the bartender, see what they can do there. Yes, real quick before we take a little break for the ground crew, is there anything else any of you want to do?
I would like to slit all of their throats.
In one night.
Are you talking about the Koha opponents that you have, or the crew of the Yon?
Never
Yeah.
the crew of the Yan yet.
Ah,
Yet.
Yet.
All 30 Klingon who are surrounding this place. Let me just slit all their throats. Is it difficulty, what, 2 roll?
That would actually be an extended task, daring and security, difficulty 5. Every single
Not
time.
gonna lie. I might be able to pull it off. But
That's
we'll hold.
So as long as our communications are encrypted still, I'm going to try to find out where Zionel is.
Okay. Well, let's see. Before we get to that, I do want to take a look back up on the ship, but I was wondering if, just for flavor or anything else, if Wo or Azik were looking to do anything right at this moment.
Not really. I'm just assessing the situation and probably drinking way too much.
Indeed so.
he's slowly watering down his drink so he can't drink too much.
Yes. All right.
Changing it to bloody synthahol.
How else do you think a bar out here stays in business?
Yeah. And it was a bad vintage he was working with to begin with. Okay, so let's see. Let me just move over a few things here, and then we will, let's see, just create this here. So let's cut back up to the ship for a moment, just to touch base with them. Regrettably, the transporter set is not yet working, so I aim to have that up. It should actually be a little bit easier now with a few things I've just recently gotten set up. But while we are waiting on that, let us wait for Roll20 to think for a moment. Yes, please wake up, awaken.
Awaken the machine.
Yes, it is. It is a slow process today. And I do not know why. Why do you do this to me?
Roll20 just be like that sometimes. For real.
They do not think it be like it is, but it do. Kalos probably.
You have all just made the grammarian in me die a slow, horrible, painful death.
That's how
He
it be
will-
sometimes.
He will rise from the grave and slaughter you all.
Until
Well,
that.
good luck with that.
Yeah, not with Taybox dice rolls. Anyway, while that's going on, let us check in with the rest of the crew back in orbit. And well, Drat, I am still there for some reason, even though I should not exist anymore. Just have to ignore the GM's presence. And also people that should not be in the frame right now. Lovely.
I didn't do it.
You did not. Let's see. Kresik is let me actually ask. Given the current circumstances, where it seems that you probably would have been made aware by Vopri that the transport has not gone particularly well, would you be aiming to regroup or try to take any sort of role in figuring things out here, or would you be remaining in sick bay for the time being?
I'm going to do the last thing anyone expects the doctor to do. I am going to go to the bridge.
Very good. Let's
Wild
move.
times.
Let's move to a
Oh,
set then where the GM is not, or a manifestation that the GM is not located. So let's get things set up for visit on the bridge.
Truly, it's become desperate.
Yes, you're very nearly the darkest hour. And I think this would also be an appropriate time to have another character present. So, Kresic, as you make your way onto the bridge, you are going to stand by, just making this token work, make sure everyone that should be in the layer is showing up and going to the right page himself, because the GM is supposed to be good like that. Okay, here we go. You see the 3 occupants of the bridge, as usual in the captain's chair, whilst Tabak is away. You see the small feline that occupies the chair. Vopri is at sensors, and presently over at the navigation console is Bahan, who you've probably not seen as much of. He's been slowly detoxing since the captain ordered his blood wine rations cut a little bit, but he's been sulking a little bit more as a result of that. Yeah, Cheesy, if you care, how is Bahan doing in this moment?
Probably sweating profusely, getting more anxious, and doing anything he can to distract his brain.
Yep. Out of curiosity, has he been paying any attention whatsoever to the situation around him, or is this just default?
He's paying attention, and he's anxiously wanting to go down there because that's a really big distraction for him.
Fair enough. So, Doctor, you step onto the bridge, and this is the scene you arrive on. Hello, Doctor.
We'll try. What's going on?
Mr. Croker reports, transporter is inoperable currently. We cannot beam the crew up safely. They are attempting to determine next moves, I think.
Great. Bahan,
Yes, Doctor.
can you fly?
I don't believe so.
You cannot fly.
What is the flying skill?
That would be Con.
Oh, would it be daring also?
Either daring or
can.
control.
Okay. I can try. I'm much better drunk.
You should try water.
Clean water.
Never heard of it.
Tracks.
Let's give this a whirl.
If
There's a ship, right? There's another ship here, right? Out of character.
There is. In fact, Vopri has just pulled up the sensors, and you see docked in the opposite berth on the station is it would actually be a Tulyuk class bird of prey. Nominally designated an exploratory vessel with the strongest of air quotes, but it is an older bird of prey style vessel. Not quite as old as the Raptor class, which the Yan is, but it's still the last ones were probably built 50, 60 years ago, and they have long since been superseded by, mostly actually by the bird of prey is more commonly used by the houses. There are a very limited number of proper Imperial Navy craft that are of the equivalent sort of tonnage. They've mostly focused their sparse resources into battle cruisers, or that's most of what you know of the Empire. But yeah, that ship docked a short time after the crew beamed down, apparently.
Okay.
And Doctor, may I ask, what exactly are we leaving behind the crew?
No, Vopry. Don't be ridiculous.
So am I heading to the bar, or am I heading to the bad guys?
They're the same thing.
Well, I mean, are we engaging or are we picking up?
We're going to blow up that ship in front of us. We're going to fly down to the planet, and we're going to blow up anything that gets in our way.
Uh, Doctor, may I do feel I, uh, I am obligated to note first that that bird of prey is still docked with the station, which it is, however small, it is an Imperial station, so that would be a uh, major breach of sorts. It is also, due to the unique geographic features, it would be extremely difficult for us to effect a landing.
I never said anything about landing.
Oh, I do not understand, and I am not.
We have hatches. We have ropes. Think.
The Vopry just shrinks a bit. As a matter of fact, physically. Let me just get in here.
It's like an accordion. It just goes down.
Yeah.
Krizik, you monster.
The little baby man.
He just wants Vopry to use his brain, okay? Vopry's not using his big brain right now.
Vopry is just terrified of the large lizard man, giving him the invincible style. Think, Vopry! He is very small, and Krizik is quite large.
Hey, listen, don't take it too hard.
All we need to do is angle these cannons at the whatever's going on down there. And then we can worry about rescuing the crew. No landing necessary.
Okay. He'll just turn around in his seat and hunch towards his console, very clearly disturbed by the idea of everything that's about to happen.
Do you have a better idea?
Outside of repairing transporter beam, no.
And none of us can do that now, can we?
I no. Well, maybe Croker and maybe me and possibly Behan if he had, possibly the bunch of us could find some way to investigate the problem or create an advantage, but I do not know. It would not be easy.
Out of character crew, what do you want me to do? Come down with the ship or try and fix transporters?
You know, honestly, I think we're just going to leave this in your hands. That's what
Okay.
I want to do.
I
want to see where you're going to go with this.
I was wondering to see if the crew had any suggestions.
Is the transporter broken, like fully?
Transporter's offline.
Yeah, the complication has completely taken the personnel transporter offline.
Oh, I meant the
and we had already the cargo transporters.
Yeah. I think that Tabak was about to discuss the cargo thing. I was just preparing this. So this actually is a suitable time to bring in that conversation. Amid the conversation, as you are preparing what's left of the crew to perform this maneuver, Vopri sees a comm signal. Uh, Signal coming in from the captain on the encrypted channel we have set up.
Put it through.
Captain Tabok, this is Vopri aboard the Yan. We read you.
Right. Have you managed to? Is the cargo transporter functional, or have you managed to repair it?
Oh, still running check here. Let's see. And I will allow the possibility that it could be activated, but I'm going to have Croker make a roll in order to check and see whether there's a way to effectively make that work.
Can Vopri assist because he's best boy?
He is best boy, and Croker and Betty are disaster duo.
All are true. All are very true.
Ow! Wow.
So Vopri and Croker will tell you what, Croker, I will make this control and engineering in order to properly start up the system.
Oh.
Vopri will also help you. I am spending 1 point of threat to increase the complication range.
Okay, just a second, Mr. GM. Before you do that, we do have 2 cargo transporters in the subdeck because we have 2 cargo holds down there.
Oh, indeed, indeed.
One of them is bound to not be affected.
Yep. So in that case, I will set this to a. I'll set this to
schematics.
I'll set this to a difficulty 1 here then to see if it'll activate.
Okay, come
I'm
on,
spending a
Croker.
point of threat to increase the complication range.
Fair.
And
fair.
I'm using a focus.
All right, so that will give you an expanded critical success range.
Oh, come on, magic fingers. Yeah, crap.
Wait,
Oh,
Betty, what did you do?
You have the. Can you wait? Does Croker have any determination?
I don't believe Croker has any values right now. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Ray.
Yeah, he needs some work done. Dang it!
Croker has not been working on himself.
No, Croker has not had a day off from being ridiculous in several years.
Okay, can we? What do we have to spend to re-roll that
With
complication?
Vopri's assist there, you have earned 1 additional point of momentum. So that will give you a total of 4 points right now. You may use 2 of those to buy off the complication. Alternatively, you may accept a narrative and either a narrative complication or you may give the GM back his point of threat.
I will be nice to everybody and give you back your point of threat.
Very well.
One time.
You're the best.
Yep.
Thank you. I know.
With quick work, you and coordination from Vopri, you find that one of the cargo transporters is indeed operational. There was a bit of a slow boot up sequence in order to re-engage it. It seems that one of them has been out of use for a while, and the maintenance may have missed a few small things, but it's nothing that is going to impair function right now. So
One's a bit close to Junior's room.
Indeed.
All
Captain,
right.
we have 1 cargo transporter that is still operational.
Good. How many grenades do we have up there?
I must admit, I do not stop by the armory frequently enough.
Probably a convenient amount.
I'm hoping so.
That is true. The general rule on grenade usage per the rulebook is that something with the grenade quality requires basically allows you 3 uses per encounter or scene. So I suppose if the idea is to start beaming down grenades, uh, it could be done, but with a limit of 3 times, and that but with increased damage.
Okay,
Or
Mr.
is it
GM.
just
Okay, you're saying we could beam grenades down 3 times, or we could beam a bunch of grenades down 3 times?
Um, the latter one, essentially, to be clear. Grenades have a very specific weapons quality that is literally called grenade. The idea behind it is that when you use a grenade, you can use it to, or you can essentially deploy them 3 times during an encounter, which I'm saying is like on a per session basis.
Right.
Since it sounds like you would, if you're looking to, say, beam down multiple grenades at the same time, um, then I'd be willing to let you do that if you want to try and take out some of their squad. Uh, the advantage of that is that it will allow you to like roll some extra challenge dice basically when you do damage for the grenades.
Yeah. So he's got a lock on us. Can he identify the people who are standing around the building? Bopri?
I believe so, Captain.
All right. Well, get Croker. Don't screw it up this time. To send grenades as presents to all of them. Presents that will explode upon materialization.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking today, Captain. Cure, let's do this thing! Indeed, buddy. Alright. Do I want to roll right now, or are we waiting for something else?
We can make those rolls shortly when we start like initiating proper combat here in a moment. I imagine that
Okay.
Tabak will want that to be a something a bit more timed with any action on the ground. But
Sorry. So yeah, I also needed to talk to Zinal.
okay, so we'll filter back over to that in a moment. Before he lets you go, do any of you want to speak to Tabak while you have him on the line here? Kresik, Bahan?
Captain, there is another ship docked here.
I assumed so. They threatened to blow up the bar.
Mm.
If they move to bombard, I'm afraid to ask if there's anybody up there who thinks they might be able to do anything about it.
It's like a laser scalpel, isn't it?
What is?
Disruptor cannons.
Very, very big, very, very big scalpel that is shaped kind of like a hammer. Yeah.
I can do it.
I can get you there.
You're instilling me with oh so much confidence. Just if they start doing something untoward, please make them stop.
Understood, Captain. Vopri.
Jump! What?
Yes, Doctor.
Hold up. I walk right up next to his chair. Put my hand reassuringly on his back, on his shoulder.
If the ship does anything that looks suspicious, let me know immediately. Okay?
Give me a presence and command to see
Let's
whether...
go.
Let's go.
Better yet, presence and security to see if you actually, whether you fail and inadvertently terrify him or succeed and give him some reassurance here.
Okay, not bad. Does my psychoanalysis focus count? Because I'm instilling him with confidence.
Yeah, no, I'll allow that.
Excellent. Presence and security. 2 dice.
Thank
Um,
you.
for the sake of fluff, I will say that he doesn't outright flinch at your placing the big scaly claw of yours on his back, and he'll
You realize, of
maintain
course, considering how small he is and how tall you are, your hand probably goes from the small of his back to his shoulder blade.
Yes. It's very reassuring. It's like a hug. At least I'm told that's what hugs are like.
The doctor
Self
is
note, need to hug Kresic later.
I was not expecting the doctor's hands to be quite that warm.
He's so gentle.
You can do this, Vopri. And then I walk back over to my to the tactical station.
The small little Rental sits up just a little bit more, like just one notch, letting his neck come up and his shoulders go a little back. Okay.
I love it when he says okay. He's like, oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now, see, he's adorable. The GM will definitely do nothing to him in the future.
If
Do
Vopri
not!
dies- if
Do
Vopri
not!
dies, it's over. It's actually over.
It's
We
over.
will kill the GM.
Vopri dies, we riot.
Yes, that's the true mutiny stream. Better yet, the stream where the crew slays their god.
He was more trouble than he was. Oh man.
Yeah, certainly not. Vopri is best boy, and he's the one that that if you should use the vocalize channel point by, that is who I will be using for this game. So anyway, yeah, the three of you stand by. Kresic, I think that the plan you have is now conditional to where, or if you choose to go along with Tabok's request, then you would engage the bird of prey only after it has taken worse moves. I will say at this point, Vopri does relay to you that they are projecting a beam from their deflector into the atmosphere that is making transport slightly more difficult.
Okay. Basically, what I'm looking for, if it's gonna go anywhere, it's gonna detach from the station. And it's gonna have to do that before it raises shields. So I am looking for that moment when it is no longer attached to the station, but before it raises shields. And I'm gonna fire.
Very well. So, let's see. As you plot out that moment to where you can act, I think. Let's see. First, I guess Bahan, are you then on board to stay at the helm, or would you want to? Would you prefer to ask about getting involved in the surface somehow? Anything of the sort?
Doctor's head of command right now. He needs a pilot. I'm going to be here.
Copy that. Then we will go along that line. So I guess with all of that going on right now, let us go back to the surface. Specifically, the area outside the bar, where Zionel has taken up a posting around up in one of the stone structures, taking advantage of the shadow and the irregular, almost skeletal features of the arrangement in order to best hide himself here. It is quite staggering to see the sheer number of warriors that have gathered around, so much they're positively bursting out of the image that the GM has supplied here. But you, amidst your silence, you get the You get a very low buzz from your comm line, suggesting that someone is trying to signal you directly.
Yes, hello.
Zynal?
Captain.
Yes. You didn't come inside. What are you doing out there?
Keeping an eye on the situation.
The situation is going to shortly get kind of more interesting.
How interesting.
Let's just say transported grenades next to all of our friends.
Oh. Explosively interesting.
Explosively so, yes. They've not spotted you, so I'm assuming you are fairly stealthy.
I like dark places. Other places are too bright.
As you say.
Is there anything you need me to do, Captain?
Well, whoever is closest to you as far as... Okay, there are little blips going on the screen. I'm not sure what that all means.
They're just moving about.
Okay. Whoever amongst the wounded, soon-to-be wounded, is closest to you, I'll require you to send them to Grethor.
I suppose I can do that. There's at least two that seem to be leading this little operation.
At least two.
At least two. I mean, I'd imagine there's probably somebody in a ship or something.
Yes, there is. They're attached to the station up above us.
Of course there is. But yeah, there's a tall one and a short one. The short one seems to have been talking to you.
I have no idea what they look like. Only that they're arrogant sons of whores.
But I can do that, Captain.
Good. Don't get killed.
I should hope not.
If you can avoid it, don't get killed.
I should very well hope not.
If you can't avoid it, die well. And take as many of them with you as possible.
He doesn't respond to that.
I didn't think he would.
Because he does not plan on dying. All right.
So yeah, it's basically your scene, I think. So
I'm just waiting on bombs to drop.
Copy that. So with that, I would say, I guess Zional, technically they spent the escalation cost, so if you so wished, you could have a rifle on you now. Either something that you elected to bring with you, or that you could have, say, borrowed very quickly from someone else. Otherwise, I believe your standard kit was more in the line
all
of,
I
like...
took was knives. That's all I have.
Fair enough.
Knives and knives and knives, but knives nonetheless.
You have more knives than anyone would ever find if they searched your corpse.
Probably. But that's all I took with me.
Indeed. Well, very quickly, because you had an earlier success with regard to that security role, you will notice that, of course, in what is the foreground of this image here, you essentially have the indication that there are the warriors that are kind of nearest by seem to include the two leaders, or the top henchmen of this group, as it were, who seem to be discussing things amongst themselves. There's actually a little bit of shouting as they're trying to deal with an injured one.
Since we created that advantage, can I listen into what they're saying?
Certainly. I suppose, yeah, we'd be talking about the advantage with the comm line specifically.
Yes.
Okay. You hear one deep booming voice. Ship, prepare to bring up the one of our injured. Napor, you fool. With the same transporter issues are going to cause us trouble here. He was one of the ones that was one of our stasis troopers anyway, so he steps over. There's really not a whole lot of point in doing that. They come at Darsek a dozen. I keep telling you that that's not good for the men. Everyone listen up. This man is no longer in our services, and you all get a corresponding increase in pay. And with that, the short one will pull a disruptor pistol.
And miss.
Yeah. He's looking away as he shoots them, so he just misses slightly, much to the terror of the other Klingon. Oh dear. Well, this is what happens when I try to make this a big image. Oh, well, let's see. Oh, I'll just take another shot. No reason not to. And with that, let's see, another control security roll.
And misses again.
The sighting on my disruptors is off. Which one of you is responsible for this?
Nobody raises their hand.
I mean, everybody raises their hand because Mikey can hit him anyways.
The big one says, I believe it's the one you're trying to shoot. Oh, even worse. Then you definitely deserve to die. There we go.
Honestly, do you really need to roll dice for a point-blank coup de grace?
It was funny.
It was.
It was. And yeah, the injured man is vaporized right before you. Memo to self. We should only put the irregular hired hands in charge of the fighting and leave them out of equipment maintenance. Need to bring on some more regular staff. That much is certain, Vegta. Ship belay transporter operations continue to try and break the encryption and maintain interference. Napor out. So that is the little bit that you get there.
Did we hear the disruptors?
You did probably hear a few errant disruptor blasts in the distance, and if we want to cut to the reaction of that, then let's go back to the bar.
Zionel, what was that?
He just killed one of the men that you injured. Something about stasis units. I quite like this guy, actually. Shame he'll have to die.
Oh, you kind of like the idea of killing crewmen randomly?
Useless crewman.
I'll remember that in the future.
Your thoughts
I'll
briefly
try not
drift.
to be useful.
I was going to say, Tabak, your thoughts briefly drift to Croker.
No, not even briefly.
Oh my god, that wasn't
Slowly, intentionally, deliberately.
Here's the thing.
deductively.
Croker, you get the feeling that the captain is now thinking of you and that you will not leave his thoughts.
Ah.
You
This
feel a mighty disturbance in the force.
Oh, is that what we're calling it now? All right.
What else could it be?
True love.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
At least half this ship is star-crossed, unfortunately.
Apparently, yes.
The other half is not a welcome or willing participant to it.
Why is it okay? Why did I get the craziest crew, and why do half of them want to screw me in one way or another? Anyway, moving along.
Yep. Anyway.
So, yeah, I would have moved right there next to Raldar, peeking out the door, weapon in hand, trying to see if they're shooting at us. I can't move my little person, I don't think, can I?
Oh no, let
Oh,
us fix
nice.
that. Yeah,
Okay,
everyone
I did.
should be able to move their tokens. If you are having a problem with it, please say so now, and I will fix that for you. Everyone give a little test dance for stream.
Yay. Dun 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 dun. Alright. I'll call back up to the ship again. How is the bombing going?
Um, I believe Mr. Crocker has just brought the crates of grenades from the armory. We could expend what we have and produce several major explosions, or rather, we could concentrate them into large clumps, if you wish, for additional challenge die. But we could probably manage at least 3 such detonations.
Conveniently, they've divided into 3 large groups. So let's do that. Any time now would be great.
Yes. Crocker sets the crates of grenades down and runs to the panel.
Okay, so down
What
to
about interference?
there is still an ambient interference field, which was adding 1 to the difficulty.
Go ahead
And I
and do.
spend anything to make this work.
Might as well
Crocker.
take 3 and get 2 dice.
All right, I'll take 3 and call you in the morning. All right. 2 dice, so
And-
that would put me to 4. Did you say? Do we have 3?
You
Yeah, we have
have
4 right now.
4 points of momentum in your pool. You can spend 3 in order to gain 2 additional dice.
Yes.
Can
All
Prusik
right.
try to use the tactical sensors in any way to help with this?
Does he know
Be an
how?
assist?
Uh,
He has a
Tec-
4 in security.
Oh my.
this is a good point. I think though the ship is already assisting here.
That's fair.
So,
All right.
I suppose I could always allow for Zional to assist, however, and feed more precise targeting data, or try to make any corrections since he
Oh, yeah.
is on the
He's our
surface.
spotter. He's our
I
spotter.
love being a spotter. That's literally why I put him out here. I'll definitely do that.
Yep,
Fantastic.
What would that be?
that would be. I think
Insight,
for Zional, yes, it would-
security?
insight and security would definitely apply.
Assassination?
That focus does come into play.
Oh.
So yeah, Croker, this is a difficulty 4 task. You are, however, assisted by the ship's you're assisted by the ship's sensors and engineering, and Zional will also give you an assist with reason and insight.
All right, I'll get the
Alright.
ship. 1 die for the ship, right?
Oh.
Right.
Yes, it will also drop a point of power in order to use that.
Ship
So-
didn't help. Classic
Ship
ship.
didn't help.
Standard ship activity.
Roll your 4 dice, please.
All right,
roll.
stand by, Captain. Oh my
Wow.
god!
All right, we're dead.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Are you serious?
The end is nigh.
The end is here, okay? It's not nigh. We're in it. We're at the end.
Oh dear.
That was... What is going on with her today?
So,
And-
You have determination. Reroll.
Can I use my determination to let her reroll? Please.
Can I use mine too?
Everyone just
Anybody,
throws their
anybody,
point of
anybody who's on the stream, donate your money. Make sure we don't die.
Well,
How did this happen? How did this happen to us?
Man, this is
Oh,
a
no.
bad time for.
If we
let's-
all, if
it would be
all
a
of
bad
us,
time for the Aegis crew to take their revenge.
Oh my god, what?
Hey, they were nowhere in the same position that we are in. That would be cruel and unusual.
Yep.
what if we
Any-
all spend our determination?
With your powers combined.
With our
let's-
powers combined, we don't blow the friggin' ship up.
Okay, so let me think here. You know, mission directives. Your goal is to be able to bring this person back alive. You can't do that if you're dead, so... Or if you don't have a ship, or if something like that happens. So, in the...
And as captain, the captain has the ability to shift his point of determination to another crew member. So then, there's so if he gives his point of determination to Croker and then Croker spends it on the mission directive, we can get the reroll.
Well, either way, it still needs like Croker has a point of determination.
Not if we don't have a value.
I thought it would just render it inaccessible, but that would, because you could still use the mission parameters or like a mission directive as a in order to access a point of determination, even if you don't have a value. At least that is my understanding of the rules.
Okay.
And that is, either way, I am prepared to make a very loose interpretation because for those in the audience who cannot see the roll, after the ship did not roll a success, with 4 dice, Croker rolled 4 failures, one of them being a critical failure, a natural 20, which in a 2d20 system, it is flipped to where that is more like the nat 1, because you are aiming for a target range number or lower. So
I hate this die roller. I hate this die roller. I hate this die roller.
Okay, Captain. Mr. Captain, you've got to profess your love to Croker and boost his spirits where he can do this. Come on.
Nah.
No, that's not how that works.
Rather die. Okay, I see how it is. Just, he accidentally sent those grenades to you guys, is what I'm getting from this.
Okay, so...
Croker, make sure this works or you're fired.
No, that's not going to work. He's just...
Well,
if he's fired, he's off the ship.
Yes,
You're
Croker,
married.
you may use the directive to help you out in this, or to save you on the reroll in this case. Otherwise, it would be I would be asking you to give me threat or the narrative complication.
I will use the directive. I'm getting divorced if I don't nail this. All right.
So re-roll. Technically, all of the dice in the pool may be re-rolled, which means.
All right.
Tabak, you may try to roll the ship again.
Oh, cool.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's one.
One from the ship.
Yes. Yes.
Like A-list.
Do not ever say that I am not a kind GM.
You are way too kind for this bullshit.
You just didn't want a TPK on your soul.
Well, I was fully prepared to have the grenades beam onto the bridge instead of the planet as it bounced off the atmosphere. At least then the doctor could put Vopri and Bahan back together.
Oh my god.
Would have been instant foreshadowing for the nothing bad is going to happen to Vopri sort of thing.
We are not touching Vopri. Not one hair on his bald little head.
Vopri.
Yes. Vopri is in fact completely hairless.
I said bald little head.
Yes. But just to say he has absolutely no hair, no follicles for it whatsoever. Anyway, so with that, the first case of grenades will beam down, fully primed, and I'll go ahead and say, Ray, for that success, go ahead, go into Woe's character sheet.
All right.
Roll down to those grenades.
All right, let's go down to those grenades.
And then before you roll the damage for it, go ahead and add 3 challenge dice, please.
So 3. Did you say add 3 or just put it at 3?
Increase the pool by 3.
Okay, so 7. All right.
Yep.
Okay, plus grenade.
Okay.
What is going on? Why are there so many?
That is because it adds the security role as well.
Yep.
So,
Oh.
targeting, we'll say, targeting one of the groups of 6 down there. That should be, let me take a quick look at the stat block once more time for them, or once more. So, among the ghom HeghmoH, that would be a security rating of 2 there. So, for those at all curious, I am, because there are so many Klingons in view or like potentially affected here, I'm actually borrowing rules that show up in the Operations Division book. It also shows up in the Quick Start Red Alert Guide, which is a free product Modiphius offers for anyone that wants to just do some basic tabletop fighting encounters. But basically, when you have a large number of ground targets available, you can create a set of squads, basically. And, hold on, give me just one moment, chat. I need to just blow my nose a little bit.
Too late for him. He's been corrupted.
This thermal grenade explosion is brought to you by Gawk Pockets.
Dock pockets.
Yeah.
I got a picture for a dock pocket. All right.
Okay, I am back. So, essentially, the way that a squad is treated, instead of having the full array of, like stress, which is basically the health of the character, every individual person in a squad has a stress equivalent to their security discipline plus 1. And that when you are assessing damage, you basically do damage to the squad. So in this case, there are 6 people here. They all have a security rating of 2. So adding 1 to that, they each represent 3 points of stress, and thus the squad in total has 18 points of stress to it. So when those grenades beam down, the damage that was done to them there, that would be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage. That gets divided among the entire group to start with. And then as soon as like somebody has a full degree of points of damage, those models are taken off. And then I believe the last point of damage is effectively lost. So going off of that, well, the area effect would, the fact that the grenades have an area effect are also going to add to the total. Basically, since they're all concentrated, I'll treat this as just basically giving it a bonus 1 to the entire thing. So that would be more like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, that's 10 on its own, so that is 14. It would be more appropriate to say that one of the squads is going to take 15 points of damage. So, Dekoth might be in the best position to view this as, alternatively, let's see, Zional, from your perch outside, you look out and see the familiar sound of or you hear the familiar sound of transporters beaming in. They're actually on one of the approaches a bit further away from you, kind of just out of line of sight. While you aren't entirely able to pick that up necessarily, or what the Klingons say over there, the large, like the tremendous sound of an explosion and the dazzling flames that come up from the thermite grenades all create a spectacle that even partially out of sight you cannot avoid making some contact with. It is very good that you have your shades on you, because even that residual light would be deeply unpleasant for you to catch. So yes, one of the groups has with a quick look at your sensors, has been all but destroyed. There's maybe one person that is out of that group that has managed to escape.
Yes. Not divorced.
Immediately, the comm lines are going up as Arnold's like, second squad report. What was that? Oh, and beaming down. Oh, it just showed up. Oh. Intensify the disruption field now. Second squad, prepare to move in. We're going to take these Bataks out. So, with that order, first off, the ship is going to take a bit of initiative here, and they are going to intensify the jamming field. So let's see how they do on that. Well, they have managed to slightly increase the beam output, so that will influence next transporter. But as this is happening, Zional, you see that the squad actually that was located nearest you, so we'll move the camera for a moment here. The group over on this side is beginning to move out and make their run towards the bar at this point.
And which group was vaporized?
I think this group over here on the far right.
Excellent.
Along with some others not quite depicted. This doesn't necessarily show all of the Klingons that are in frame, just a considerable portion.
Yeah, that group is gone, though.
Yep.
Captain, they're coming in.
Jan, can we get another deployment or not?
1 second, darling. 1 second. So impatient.
So,
Can I fly under the disruption field?
You could attempt to do exactly that. It would require you to get out from the station and disengage from the station, and really to get at that depth, it would be some upper atmospheric flying, but still something that would start taking you into the atmosphere effectively.
Disengage us. Watch the ship.
You got it. Disengaging.
As this is happening, one of the comm lines from the station starts rattling off, and the Koha that was so indignant earlier starts screaming at Voprai again. Yeah. Should I just mute him?
Or let me take it.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, vessel designated Jan. What are you doing?
I can't hear you. Say that again?
You've not obtained proper launching orders.
Proper punching orders?
What are you talking about? My signal, the records I have show that you still have crew on the surface. There is no reason for your ship to be departing. Please return to the port. You will be fined otherwise.
I am electing to ignore this response. I'm going to hang up.
How dare you? And it cuts off.
Now I take the blame, Voprai.
Okay. So let's see. Yeah, just the real. Well, let's see. So you could first let's take it back up to the bridge for a moment. You may elect Bahan to make the roll yourself in order to, make a roll basically on this turn to bring the Yan into the atmosphere and try to get beneath the scattering field, getting as close relatively as you wish.
Do you want me to go on ahead and move, Doctor?
Do it.
I got a 1.
Okay, that I think.
Docking maneuvers are what? Difficulty 0?
Well, to unlimber would be. I was going to give you for free. I was thinking that the daring and con roll would go towards the maneuver into the atmosphere. I do think that will call on the ship's engines and con, however, to assist as well. This would also only call on maneuvering thrusters, so I think that that does not require any additional power.
Engines and con, you say, sir?
I do.
Yo.
All right, I'll give you that. You very slowly and steadily lower yourself into the atmosphere. There's still a bit of interference. You're in a part of the atmosphere where you are through most of the field, but I think that there's still going to be some residual difficulty increase. So let's say that you are low enough that it would be difficulty. The difficulty would be increased by 1 for this. Um, that being said, as you are moving to position yourselves for that next drop, on the ground, things are going to start getting a little more interesting. As we cut back over to the bar, Decoth looking out from the perch in his window. Captain, 6 of the Patahs are on their way in.
Is he armed with a rifle?
I believe that he wanted to take a rifle, and then Decoth gave him, or rather, Woe took the rifle from him and gave him a spear. He has
So he has a
disruptor
pistol and a spear.
Start shooting them. I peek around the corner. And
Oh my god.
Gonna
He
shoot
says,
one.
hello.
Took away his right. Took away the man's right.
Yep. As this is happening, Kelshaw is going to move to a slightly more sturdy location. Yeah, I guess I will roll forward to Koth here to start taking some pot shots. They're still just far. Well, I'll say that they are just moving into reasonable pistol range. So, actually, no, they're still moving up. They're not quite to the ridge, let's say. So I'll take a shot at difficulty 3. Okay, so that will. Oh wait, that's control and command, not security. Still no good. The shot goes high as he starts firing. I'll best get them to duck down a little bit.
Hey,
yeah.
even suppressing fire is still not a bad thing.
Yep. So, as Dekoth lets off the first sort of pot shots, the rest of you continue around. I think it's safe to say you are in combat now.
Mm-hmm.
I will allow for sort of parallel tracks to work here, where the ship can have a turn for what it is. Like on your turn, basically, the ship can perform one task, and the crew can also simultaneously perform a task on the ground. However, the opposing squads and the opposing ship will also have that opportunity as well.
Okie dokie. So,
Right.
Since we're
Whose turn is it?
we're officially getting into combat here, I'm going to rule that technically this starts you off at or like, since we're properly entering a combat scenario, technically the first turn always goes to the players, or the first round does.
okay.
No,
We
turn
should-
is the proper.
Are we supposed to be at 4 momentum still?
No, it should actually be down to just 1. I'll just go ahead and, if you don't mind, Joe, I will take all the momentum and then deal back the 1 that you presently have. There you go. Okay,
Can we move the dead body off the map just to be not so confusing?
fair enough.
We can use him as a. All right, never mind.
You use him as a shield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until he gets hit with the first disruptor bolt and then disintegrates in your hand.
Yep. So when we left off here, just to set the scene for what the current status is, I believe, Raldar, you are working with the chef to extract a welded plasma cell, or like extract a plasma cell from the oven that he has. Um, Woe is obviously free to act as is Tabok, as is Azek. Kelshaw could also take an action here in terms of combat, or none of those people are occupied. Durkir may also act if you want him to, but he is obviously the reason you are here, so.
And he's also hammered, isn't he?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I'm where I'm standing, and I'm just gonna look out the doorway and shoot at people as I see them.
Okay. Would
As long
you
as they're
want
within range.
Would you want to take the first move out of the bunch then, or would you prefer to have somebody
As
else
captain,
take a shot?
yes, of course I would.
Very well. Captain's prerogative.
Captain's
Okay.
prerogative.
Okay, Captain,
Okay, so
there are.
shooting.
Yep, the squad is still just a little bit out of the way, so they are. This is first for you a control plus security roll. The difficulty on this task right now is 3. They still need to close the distance a little bit.
Oh, okay. Phew. Well, I can't. Wow.
You do have a point of momentum if you want to get the additional
I
D20.
can't hit him. There's no point in even trying. Well, I could.
You can if you crit.
If I crit.
Yeah. You just want to wait till they get into melee range and then try to take it that way.
Range, just a little bit closer for the pistol.
Fair enough.
Because I don't have any foci that are going to be useful shooting at people. But I'm going to shoot at him anyway, just for poops and grins.
Okay. That
I
is
got close.
2 successes. I would be prepared to offer. Would you like to succeed at cost?
Meaning what? Giving you another threat?
It could be that, or you could elect for the GM to take a small, basically take a light complication of some sort.
Have a threat and let me shoot somebody.
Okay. Then I will let you take a threat. You manage to hit one of the lead members of the squad, or like you fire in the direction of like the largest concentration. So go ahead and roll damage for that. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on that damage. So that will, to the squad that's advancing, that is another group of 6 that was going. That damage, I think. You do actually take the lead member down with your disruptor hit catching them directly in midsection. They're going to fall to the ground, but the rest are going to continue to press on. While they're doing this, I will allow the ship to also take an action here. So you've moved things down to where you are slightly lower in the atmosphere, back up in orbit. We'll shift perspectives here. Croker calls out from his console. Doctor, we are, opening comline to transporter room. Mr. Croker, we are in position in the atmosphere. See if you can engage transporters.
Right, do we wish to transport our target onto the ship or more grenades off?
I believe with the cargo transporters, the captain just wanted us to use the transporters to to beam down the grenades.
This man, the things I do for love. Okay. Hang on. Need to find my character sheet.
Okay, so
All
for
right.
for Croker, once again, this is going to be control and engineering. The ship will assist once more with sensors and engineering, and Zionel may continue to spot for him in order to correct coordinates. This is still a difficulty 4 roll, but you do have those two assists. You also have a single point of momentum which could be used.
Do we want to use the momentum?
Go for it.
Yep, no
Uh,
help from the ship. It rolls only a. It rolls a. It rolls no successes on the assist.
Does one momentum just re-roll one die?
It gives
One
you an extra
momentum will
die.
give you a third die to roll.
Okay.
Oh, you can. You need to. Croker
Oh,
has
I'm
like
sorry.
full. Yeah.
Sorry.
So go ahead and give me 2 more d20s there, if you please.
Sorry. The wrong button. Oh my god.
Okay, so Croker rolls 3 successes. Zionel rolls 2 for a total of 5 successes, which will give you back that point of momentum.
Yay.
Another crate of grenades begins to materialize, this time directly in the path of the set on the outside. So for those viewing from the exterior here, another half a dozen soldiers are moving up along this route over here, and they are just going to walk right into the path of those crates. So, Ray, using Woe's sheet again, give me damage once more, please.
All right. Let me pull that up again because I've lost it.
Yeah, well, just gonna want to keep Croker and Woe handy here.
Yeah. I realize this. Where is her sheet? Why isn't it popping up?
I was gonna say she's in the player characters.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm clicking her. It's just not doing anything.
Oh, do you have her sheet already up and maybe just like minimized?
I don't see it anywhere else.
Hmm.
Mm,
Well, if you like,
no.
I can attempt. I can roll for you if you so wish.
Yes, please. I can't seem to get the sheet to pop up.
Uh,
Wait, is that her? Hold on. Aha, found her.
Excellent.
Okay.
Roll me for those plasma or those thermite grenades, rather.
All right. What are we at? Are we still at 7?
Yes, because that you have the addition because you are rolling crates of them.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
So that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh dear. Yeah, the grenades beam down into the path of the Klingon warriors, who are slightly hunched and clustered after Tabak managed to hit that first one square in the chest with very precise bits of like telemetry, giving Croker the most precise coordinates possible. You manage to lay the crates perfectly in the path of each of those. The grenades go up in a bright burst of flames that create a massive crater, burning and just burning and sizzling with the thermite that is wearing down through the dusty sediment or the extremely fine particles on the ground and sending a good bit up more. But that is going to completely annihilate that bunch there.
There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Yeah, there was, and you just managed to kill six people. It does occur to me that along with the others are lethal blows. The GM will not take anything for the last bunch, but because I've remembered now.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
No, I don't like that.
Do area of effect weapons really give the GM 1 point of threat per person they kill, though? It just becomes a statistic at that point.
If he didn't want so many people to die, why'd he send so many?
That is also true. If we didn't want 30 people to die, why send 30 people?
Yep. The
And I don't think that rule should apply to Klingons.
Well, the thing is,
Oh my god.
the thing is, he has to spend threat to attack us lethally as well, though. So
very true. So seeing his squad completely obliterated, first, Cyanal, you're going to hear on the comms. All right, this really isn't working that well. I think that what's that? Did their ship move out of orbit, or are you having trouble with the disruption issues? They've moved into a closer orbit, Chuckwe. Oh, of course they did. All right, how high up in the atmosphere? Oh, let's see. Still at least 100 kilocams, sir. All right, that should be fine. Torpedoes, fire at will. That's in order. But sir, I don't care what you want to say about our limited expenditure or the fact we're detonating antimatter. I just want that ship hit. Aye, Captain. And Vegta with that has, he has given a direct task, which will be the ground combat, the ground move. So he doesn't do anything, or rather, no additional groups of soldiers move, but he rolls a d20.
So let me just make sure I get this straight, though. They're firing while docked at the Imperial station.
No, they are firing from the station to the towards the Yan.
From their ship.
From the station?
Yes. On their ship.
Docked. Yep.
So they're firing while their ship is still docked on the station.
Yes.
Okay, so they're dooming themselves. Continue.
Definitely they're pissing off the Imperial soldiers that are on board. All two of them.
Yeah, but those two of them still have guns.
So
still misses.
Oh dear, that is not quite enough. So that torpedo goes just a little wide and flies down through the atmosphere before hitting a landing some ways away, causing quite the considerable explosion. You probably all feel the tremors from that as that torpedo lands in the area.
Its shields are still down?
Its shields are still presently down. So for that matter are yours, as you are having to use transporters. But I'm going to say it did pass uncomfortably close.
I think that's a probable cause, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yep. So back on the ship, Kresic. With the current arrangement, you are at long range relative to that bird of prey.
Oh no, and its shields are down.
And the disruptors work great at long range.
No, but our torpedoes do.
Ah, yes.
And they have high yield, which doubles the amount of breaches that are going to get suffered. Oh no, what am I going to do?
Station. Oh no.
Oh no. I hope they understand.
All right, Kresic. Go ahead.
I'm going to spend my point of determination. Tapping the value become what others need. We need a weapons officer. I'm going to use that to give myself an automatic crit on this roll.
Okay. You need 3 successes in order to hit from where you are located.
I'm using control and security, right?
Yes, and the ship also assists with security and weapons. Torpedoes do not take energy to fire either.
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was what for the shooting?
Weapons and security.
Okey-dokey.
So we hit.
Yes, you do hit. Oh dear.
So first of all, we have one momentum that we got back from that last roll, right?
Let me
Yes.
double check. Yes, there would have been 1 momentum back from that previous roll that I've not gotten rid of here.
Cool.
So you had 1 momentum in the pool. Then you have let's see, 1 additional momentum from your successes here because you rolled 2. Tabak had the ship roll a 3rd success, and then you had the automatic critical success.
Right.
So actually,
So
that would be a total of 3 successes that you have on hand right now.
a total of 2 additional successes.
Yes. So a total of 3 momentum is what the GM meant to say.
Okay. Does anybody mind if I do the damage for the torpedo?
Oh, do it.
Right
Go for
ahead.
it.
Have fun, please.
Okay. So the torpedo. Let's see. That gives you 4
Does anybody
points of
mind
damage.
if I spend 1 of our momentum to reroll those 2 blank dice?
Go right ahead.
Yes.
Have at it.
There we go.
Yeah,
That
not
will
the
be-
best.
Not the worst.
It is 5 points of damage, which, let's see, that against a Tuyuk class bird of prey, that will be, first it will have to encounter 3 points of resistance. So that would, well, that's still enough to cause a breach because of the fact their shields are down. So
Right. And how does high yield work again?
high yield allows it to where there's automatically a second breach when those torpedoes hit, or when you do damage. When you basically cause 1 breach, it automatically gives you a second one.
So do we get 3 breaches?
No, you get 2. I believe you only get
2,
2
I
breaches.
think.
Yeah, the
Well,
maximum.
the one we just inflicted, and then
And then 1 high yield.
But we have 2 effect.
I don't know if it's effect based. I don't know if high yield is effect based.
High yield is not effect based.
I think it's just inherent.
Yeah.
Okay.
High yield is a quality, which means that is just something that the weapon automatically does or has something about it. An effect only comes into play when you have the effects rolled, which for those wondering what we are talking about with that, when it comes to rolling damage for any sort of thing, or rolling in a couple other circumstances like extended tasks, basically a long sort of repetitive sort of thing. The idea is that you would, or you have d6s that you can roll for that, and the general values you could roll a 1, you could roll a 2. The 3 and 4 spots would be effectively blank for this. And then what would be the 5 or 6 on a normal die just have the Starfleet chevron, the insignia. For those less familiar, basically think the standard Delta that is the patch for the Enterprise or like any Starfleet officer. So when you get one of those symbols, that is an effect on the weapon, and that's where only certain things come to play. That being said, let's go ahead and roll damage for that breach there. So the first, let's see. Kresic, with careful modulation of the targeting sensors, even in spite of the interference they're creating, you let loose a torpedo that flies out and back upwards through the atmosphere, finding its mark true along part of the underbelly of the Tuyuk. The result is actually interesting, where the torpedo fuse is actually slightly delayed when it goes off. So it is the course it's going to take will actually arc slightly to the right first, like crashing right through a wing before swinging back around and impacting on the starboard side, breaking through the starboard wing and then circling back around where it hits the basically the engineering hull, the bulky back bit of the bird of prey, and detonating. So that is going to cause 2 impacts to the structure of the ship. Yeah, so that means I have to take a quick roll to see how that affects the crew on the ship there.
They're all dying.
Kill them.
Quite
I
possibly.
mean,
Killing me softly with his torpedo. That was horrible. I apologize.
Okay,
aw.
the crew unfortunately does what crew is still on there do not die immediately from that, or they're unaffected. But the structure is now considered damaged as a result of those torpedo shots. So that'll definitely make things a little more difficult for them. And they're getting all manner of like flames, rocks coming out of the out of out of different crevices and whatnot. Um, let's see. And all tasks to repair that are pose considerable problems. The resistance is actually also down by 1 now. So that is the action you take from the ship. What would you be doing from the ground?
Well, I already took my action, so somebody else should probably shoot at somebody.
Yep. Either that or Raldar can start fiddling more with the
Ooh,
stove.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make a snow globe. I mean, a bomb.
Bomb!
Good. Raldar is the sounds of explosions and disruptor shots are heard from echoing in the distance. You manage to get into this man's small improvised plasma kettle or like plasma oven. It seems like a strain that it would have even been manufactured in the last century. But it's still something that you could possibly dislodge a mostly spent power cell from. I will ask you for a daring and engineering roll with a difficulty of 2.
Is there a way I can help him by reminding him what not to touch?
I think
As another engineer,
Tabak is kind of engaged at the moment.
as you say, sir.
Yes, I
But
put a ring on that finger.
Oh God.
Can I use my EPS focus?
yeah, I mean this is pretty directly working with plasma, and the range probably uses a much more primitive, smaller scale version of a system like that.
All right. Let's go. Ah.
That is only 1 success there. Kelshaw is actually going to drop back near you, trying to help and say, "Wait a minute, I've worked with that model before. You want to be especially careful with that secondary coupling there." And with that bit of insight, she will give you the second success necessary to dislodge it.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. First and foremost, let me fix one small thing. You guys do have 3 momentum on the boards. Or actually 2, since you spent 1 on the re-roll for the ship damage.
3 actually, because we had 1, got 3 more, and then spent 1.
Ah, right.
Oh no, we had 1, got 2 more because it's difficulty 3. So we are at 2 momentum. There we go.
Yep, that was what I thought. So that goes back to you. Okay. So you have 2 momentum, and Raldar, you now have the plasma cell at the ready.
Nice.
So let's see. Unless you would like to use those momentum to keep the initiative here, we will go back to the other crew.
Anybody want to spend a momentum? Do we need 1 or 2?
It would be 2. Honestly, I don't think it's worth it.
No, it's not.
Okay. From the outside, once again, Zional, as you are picking him from the outside, there's quite a bit of chaos from over the comm lines. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Tell you what, just try taking shots with the disruptor, so go ahead and seal the doors, and we'll see if a concurrent assault maybe does something. Chuck Lee, we should disengage from the station if... Oh, don't bother then. It's a lucky shot. Oh, yes, Chuck Lee. Alright, so another squad is going to get in position outside, and they are just... Basically, they are going to roll a roll to effectively charge to make the distance. I'm going to set the difficulty for them to make a successful attack at 3, or rather to successfully close the distance with you. So another, let's say, they've, just going back over the numbers here, A squad's depleted, B squad is down. So I'll send in squad C here. That is 6 people. So in addition to having slightly different stats for how their health is treated, technically they can roll an alternate amount of dice. Get 4 d20s for this. I will tell you what though, I was going to set this task at 3 for them to get to you because Dakoth has been putting out fire, like all of you. I will increase the difficulty by 1 more for them to close the distance. Oh no. They do not make nearly as much progress, so
they tripped on the remains of the last guys who tried this.
Oh my god.
They find that as they're getting into position, they need to take a slight detour because the thermite is still burning in craters around them, so they kind of back up a little bit and take a position near the top of the ridge that kind of surrounds you. So they are pretty well exposed, but they're at such a distance that only rifles are really going to hit them easily. So while that's going on, that crew is going to fire another torpedo from orbit. So let's see, that will be...
Should be at an increased difficulty now, right?
Oh,
because it's the second attack with the same weapon system?
That is correct. So I think I am going to put the threat into this necessary for them to make the attack. So that'll be 3 points. And that'll buy 2 additional d20s. Giving it a roll. Oh dear. Well, so
it's going to hit.
That torpedo should hit, but I'm going to allow you guys to determine a complication that would derive from that natural 20 there.
Their weapon systems are offline. Complication from the damage that we have already inflicted.
A pretty fair move. Does everybody like that?
I'm okay with that.
I'm good with that.
This is their first and last shot that's going to hit us.
Indeed, indeed. So let's see. Go ahead and roll damage. So that torpedo sails down at you. This one, unfortunately, making its mark. Rev, you see it close in. Vopri just has a moment to say, incoming target lock confirmed, brace for impact. That will be...
honestly not bad.
Yeah, 4 points of damage. That's resisted by... that'll be partially resisted by your stress here. Rather, because you still have some armor left, you resist 3 points of that, but the 1 remaining point is going to still cause a breach because your shields are down.
Right, which means 2 breaches because of high yield.
Yep.
This could be bad.
That's 1 to structure, and number 2, that should be rechecking. Okay, so that hit is going to fly out, and I'm just checking this real quick against our schematics. Oh dear. Yeah, that hit I think should land pretty close to main computer's like nearer the bow, isn't it?
Main computer is directly under the bridge.
I don't
Okay.
like this. I don't like this.
Because 2 constitutes computers, so that torpedo is going to hit the bridge, or is going to hit just along like the one side of the bridge, and there will be like horrific explosions and shrapnel flying out. It must roll a challenge die because of the structure hit.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Yep. The spray of debris and sparks washes over all of you, but manages to not hit anyone. Not even the Cheshire, the cat, is buffeted from this, merely slightly adjusting her position on the captain's chair.
Still licking her butt.
Pretty much. But Vopra reports a direct hit. I am having trouble maintaining computer control. Attempting restoration. So Vopri will press press in a few keys, or he'll try to go into something under his console. In that moment, all of the displays and telemetry either go staticky or just are horribly fragmented until Vopri makes the appropriate fix. System restored.
Damn.
Easy peasy.
No.
Oh, that was ridiculous, bro.
No, that's literally all you need to do is just take a minor action to repair it. It's big brain.
We unfortunately we have taken our computers are now considered damaged. They will with the damage to these systems, it will be increasingly difficult to repair these systems, and I believe that it would increase complications for its use.
Correct.
Maybe one day we'll have a fully functioning ship.
Maybe.
Dream on.
I will. Thank you.
So, with that, yeah, the turn goes back to you guys. So, first, I guess you have the opportunity to act on the ground. You can act in orbit or in the atmosphere, as it were. Which group would you want to do? Would want to do something first?
I'm okay if they need to do something up in the sky right now.
Yeah, let's see those dudes go.
Okay. So
we
yeah.
still have a case of grenades, right?
We have
There
one
is-
more thing of grenades.
Yep.
We do.
And their shields are down.
Their shields are presently down. Yes.
Are we going to send the last thing of grenades to the ship, or are we going to send it to try and take care of this last group of...
This is entirely a decision for the people who are on
Yep.
board the ship.
Yeah.
Doc, you're in
I mean-
command.
I mean,
Oh,
Bahan,
wow.
if you want to say, just hear me out. We have one more set of grenades.
Yep,
We got
yeah,
transport. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll-
give me the elevator pitch. Give me the elevator pitch behind.
All right, hear me out. Their shields are down. Our shields are down. I'm bored, and I feel like making their ship turn into fireworks would be great.
And since they're directing the interference at the planet, it is a ridiculous idea, but so was dropping grenades in the first place. Transporter crew,
Reporting.
can you beam those grenades onto the ship?
I would say, as the GM temporarily inhabiting Volpry, we are at a further distance than would be optimal to act. At the very least, we would need to clear the atmosphere, get back into closer range, and conduct the transporter from there. That would be at least 2 tasks.
Can I use a minor action to move? Oh, that's understated. Okay, never mind.
It's too far. Drop him on the last group.
You guys do have the momentum in order to affect that task too. And technically, you could even beam from your transporter pads to their transporter pads.
This
On board
is true.
the ship?
Uh-huh.
Granted, it might make more sense to just take the increased difficulty, so you can say, I don't know, beam the grenades into their torpedo bay or the reactor
Yeah.
compartment.
We could. Do you guys want to do that? Crew on the ship?
Let's do that.
Bahan?
Let's do that. I feel
Big
like the
boat.
rest of the crew can take care of the 6 that are down there.
And besides, we can always just fly back down and then disruptor cannon them afterwards.
I mean,
Yeah, or just crush them with the bottom of the ship.
Oh,
we got
God.
at least 2
I've done it
people
before.
This isn't Gorman. You're not Tarkin, please.
Oh dear. I'm sure at the very least Dar agrees with the bloodlust.
Mm.
He's a good boy. He doesn't know what's happening, but he's a good boy.
Yeah.
All right.
The ship's just rattling around him, and he's got no idea what's going on.
All right, let's do it then.
All right. So, Bahan, to make a sufficiently close pass, I'm going to ask you once again for daring and con. I think that because you're at long range, technically you are going to need to give us a burst of impulse power, which will mean this is a difficulty 1 control and con roll, or rather daring and con roll. It will take 1 point of power, but it is assisted by the ship's engines and con.
Ciao. Yeah.
Okay, that is 2 successes.
Engines and con.
Yep.
Captain,
Oh, yes.
give
Sorry.
us the yawn. Give us the biggest yawn.
The yawn.
There we go. Success.
And God, you
Successful
realize the
yawn.
total. This is a 10.
It's okay. It's 50-50. Okay, not quite a 50-50.
The
Oh,
coin
no.
has landed on tails and then flew into a creek.
Can I spend my momentum on, or not my momentum, my determination? I'm not there. I can't. I know. I'm
I'm
sorry.
afraid it doesn't work that way.
I know.
So you have rolled 2 successes, but you have also scored a complication with the ship. So do you guys wish to take a complication, give the GM threat, or would you buy that off with the 2 momentum that you have?
Wait, you can't have any more threat, can you?
He can have as much threat as he wants.
Oh,
I-
we can only have 6 momentum, but he can have
Correct.
threat
Correct.
forever.
Yeah. Obviously, if you spend the momentum, then that does preclude you from being able to keep the initiative.
I'm not on the ship. I can't make this choice.
Take the threat.
Yeah, you can have a threat. Yeah.
Take the threat, you silly guy. You silly Billy.
The GM will appreciate the threat.
You little funny fella.
Yes.
Silly goose.
That's the F word you want to use for me right now.
Yeah.
All right. So you close the distance, climbing quickly out of the atmosphere. The impulse engines just barely sort of connecting with the atmosphere, which is for the best that it have minimal interaction, as could otherwise do quite terrible things to it. But the station begins to loom large. There's a terrible static from Vopri's console as the ship is beginning to spit out all manner of signals here, advising a cessation of hostilities. But you are now you are approaching close range, so if you wish to keep the initiative, then you may spend the momentum to do so.
Joe, make it so.
Both of them?
We have to.
All right.
Done.
The roll is now on Croker. This is a presuming.
Oh no!
Wow.
This
Oh
is,
no! Your plan has a flaw in it, sir.
Me.
This this is a difficulty 3. Unless you are beaming, unless you're just
Wait.
beaming to their transporters.
That can still make a big. Hey, any kind of big kaboom inside is still going to be bad.
Yeah,
Do we
beaming to the
wanna risk-
transporters will just guarantee a breach. I'm saying that Yeah, that's the ruling. If you want to get it at a difficulty 2, then the grenades will at least ensure there's a general breach. If you want to target a specific system and possibly cause a massive kaboom in the process, then I will call that I would call that a difficulty of 3. You are, of course, assisted by the ship's sensors and engineering in that.
All right, guys, this is Kerkur we're talking about.
What are you rolling? What are you rolling on this?
I would be control and engineering,
Which is
same as
what?
usual.
Which is what?
9 control, 3 engineering.
Okay, and you have a focus.
I do.
And the ship has rolled another complication.
God dang it. Who told you to roll right now? Tabok. Of course it's Tabok. Okay.
Okay.
Why did you do this to me? I wasn't even ready.
I was trying to help you make a decision based on what crap I could throw in.
Now, listen, Croker, you may always buy additional dice with threat.
You've got a lot of threat, though. Oh God. I'm just gonna roll. We're just gonna chance it. We're gonna see. Oh no, what did I do? Alright. Ready, everybody? Are we ready?
Yeah. I'm sad.
Alright, guys. Let's do this! Oh, wrong thing.
Wow.
No! Oh God, no.
And
This
then we
is
die.
bad.
And on that note, I'm gonna go get a drink before we all die.
You do that.
That is a double complication. And you know what? Croker, Ray, friend.
Yeah.
Long time bud from another campaign. I have a Faustian bargain for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
Would you like to succeed at cost?
I feel like you've been a little too generous this game. I don't think we deserve it.
Well, I'll tell you what, this will come as a result of both the complication you have just rolled, the complication from the ship, and the complication that comes from succeeding at cost.
All right, guys, do we want to succeed at cost?
I'll tell you what. I will message you first what it is, and you must make this decision on your own without announcing it, or it can only be announced in character after the beaming has taken place.
All right, let me see what you send me. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
There's a moment of tension as the yawn closes the distance with the bird of prey itself still docked onto the station. As this continues, Croker, you initiate the transporters, but then there is a moment of dread as the transporter beam intersects the interference signal, and there is a moment where you have no idea where it is going to land. But then you know exactly where it has gone.
Oh no!
Over the same comm line, you will cease hostilities at once. I am putting out a formal distress call to all Imperial ships in range. And a terrible light engulfs the station and the bird of prey.
Oh.
And that terrible light engulfs the visual, as you now have a bit of a shockwave to manage. And I think it is here that we are going to call tonight's session mid-battle.
Wait, what did we just blow up while I was getting a drink?
Station.
The station.
And
we blew up everything, Captain.
Did it,
Sweetheart.
Did it take out the other ship too?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Took out everything.
So no
took out everyone.
witnesses.
No, they sent a distress call, didn't they?
Isn't it a distress call? There were hostilities.
Anyway,
we are the hostilities.
No, they were.
Oh, okay. Well, we're fine. We're in the clear, baby.
We will see how this goes later, but this is where we're going to leave you in the archive. So I hope all of you enjoyed. Be sure to catch us again next week, and for all those here on the recording, do be sure to check out the link in the description to catch that Matrimony and Chill stream for Clockwork Crane. They are a good friend of the channel, and hope you enjoy it very much. But anyway, that is us for now, so have a good night. See you around.